A very good morning, students. So we have started chapter chemical reaction, in which we have studied till endothermic reaction. We have discussed so many reactions on the basis of physical states, on the basis of favored direction, and on the basis of release of energy. So we have discussed up to exo and endothermic reaction. So today we are going to classify reactions on the basis of their nature. Okay. So on the basis of their nature, you can see that the chemical reactions are of how many types? 8 types. No. So that one we will discuss in a detailed way. So the first reaction is combination reaction or synthesis reaction. So this reaction is those type of reaction in which two or more substances reacts to form one substance or a single new substance. So what it's written here, a given compound is formed from simpler materials like A plus B combine to give
It's 12 o'clock.
AB. Okay. So A plus B combine together to form AB. So example you can see there, sodium plus Cl2 will give NaCl, that is sodium chloride. Okay. So how you can identify this synthesis reaction? So the indicators are two or more reactants. Okay, you know the left hand sides are the reactants. So you will take two or more reactants will be there and only one product on the RHS side. If we write anything on the right hand side, means just next to the arrow. That means what? These ones we call them product. So one product by two or more reactant is called combination reaction. Let's see the examples. So let's see the example. Magnesium, you see two reactants are there and only one product is there. So you see this 2 magnesium plus O2 gives out 2 MgO. So this is the example of combination, as magnesium and oxygen combine together to form magnesium oxide. C plus O2 gives out CO2. This is also an example of combination reaction. And the next one, calcium oxide plus water gives out calcium hydroxide. One product is formed from two reactants. So this is also a combination reaction. Let's move. One more thing I want to tell you here in the synthesis reaction, that if two elements, means constituent elements, combine together to form compound is called synthesis reaction. This also we can see. Like here it is written, a given compound is formed from simpler materials. From these constituent elements you will get a compound. So this is how you can identify synthesis reaction. Next reaction. Next is decomposition reaction. Decomposition means breaking a compound down into simpler compounds. This means what? This is just opposite of combination reaction. So we can say that the reaction in which a substance breaks up into two or more simpler substances is known as decomposition reaction. Like AB, you can see AB is a compound as it breaks down and give A plus B. So this is the example of decomposition reaction. Now H2O, this is the example. This one you note so that you can identify decomposition or combination. AB will decompose into A plus B. Now H2O, you can see this is a compound. It will break down into simpler substances like its elements, its constituent elements. What are the elements? H2 plus O2. Now you will just balance this one. It is not balanced. You will balance. So how you will identify this decomposition reaction? So you will identify by you can see that only one reactant is there and two or more product is formed. So from this you can identify that the given reaction is a decomposition reaction. These are some of the examples of decomposition reaction. I told you one reactant will decompose into two or more products. So here you can see only one reactant is there but two product is formed. So you see FeOH whole thrice, that is ferric hydroxide, will give ferric oxide and water. Here also water, H2 plus O2. Just now we have seen this one. Next example, AgBr, that is silver bromide, decompose into silver and bromine. H2CO3, that is carbonic acid, it will give, carbonic acid, it will give carbon dioxide and water. So these all are the examples of decomposition reaction. So basically there are three types of decomposition reaction, that is thermal decomposition reaction, photo decomposition reaction and electric decomposition reaction. Let's discuss these three decomposition reaction one by one. So what is thermal decomposition reaction? Thermal means heat and decomposition means when one reactant decomposes into two or more product. Right, so the decomposition reaction caused by heating, or you can say heat, is called thermal decomposition reaction. As you know that limestone, that is example the calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3, if you heat it, if you supplied heat to it, it will decompose into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So this is the example of thermal decomposition reaction. More examples are given in your book, that is one is potassium chlorate. If you heat potassium chlorate, you will get potassium chloride and oxygen gas. And one more is given, that is ferrous sulfate, FeSO4. If you heat ferrous sulfate, you will get ferric oxide, that is Fe2O3, that is ferric oxide, and sulfur dioxide gas and sulfur trioxide gas, that is SO2 and SO3. So oxides of sulfur, smell of burning sulfur you will get. Right. So this is the example of thermal decomposition reaction. Now what is photo decomposition reaction? The decomposition reaction caused by light. Remember, photo means light. Okay. So when any reaction decomposes in the presence of light, we call them photo decomposition reaction. One very famous example of this photo decomposition reaction is AgBr or AgCl, like silver bromide. Wait, I'm going to show you those reactions. You see the first example, that is AgCl, silver chloride. If you supply light, if you keep this one, or if it is exposed to light, it will decompose into 2Ag and Cl2, that is silver and chloride. One example is given in your book, that is AgBr. If you supply light, or if you exposed AgBr to light object, you will get silver and bromine. Okay. Now the third decomposition reaction is electric decomposition reaction. So the decomposition reaction caused by electric current is called electric decomposition reaction or electrolytic. Electrolytic means electric only. Okay. Here we can say electrolysis also. The process is called electrolysis. This example is very in general, that if you supply electricity, if electricity is passed through this water, through this acidulated water, or you can say water, H2O, you will get H2 and O2 in the ratio 2:1. You can see here that 2:1. So in the ratio 2:1, you will get H2, hydrogen and oxygen gas. Okay. Let's say displacement reaction, or we can say single displacement reaction. This reaction is when one compound exchanges either a cation or an anion with another. Or you can see the definition from the book, that is a reaction in which one part, that is one part of any molecule is replaced by another, is called single displacement reaction. You can see here AB. A is one part, so it is replaced by C, so that is AC plus B is formed. So this is an example of single displacement reaction. Now here you see the example Mg plus HCl. You will get MgCl2 plus H2. That means what? This magnesium, see here HCl is there. So this hydrogen is replaced by magnesium. So magnesium will come here and it will form MgCl2 That is, magnesium replaced hydrogen to form MgCl2 and hydrogen gas is released. So, like this, you can identify this single displacement reaction. So, for this displacement reaction, now how can one element or any, one element will displace another element from any compound. So for this you should remember the activity series, that which metal is more reactive. How you will identify that which one is more reactive? By remembering the activity series. So at first you have to remember the activity series. You see the book? The activity series is given in page number 74. The activity series, the most reactive metal towards the least reactive. Okay, wait, I'm going to show you. You see the reactivity series. So it's a trick that how to remember the activity or reactivity series. You see, please stop calling me a careless zebra. Instead, try learning how copper saves gold. Okay, so now see, P for potassium, S for sodium, Cal for calcium, then magnesium, A for aluminium, Car for carbon, Z for zebra, instead iron, T for tin, Le for lead, H for hydrogen, copper saves, take S from there, silver, and Gold, that is gold. Okay, so like this you can remember. Please stop calling me a careless zebra. Instead, try learning how copper saves gold. Potassium to sodium, there are two more elements or metals, that is barium and calcium. So that one you have to learn. Okay, so now what happened? So now in this, I'm going to show you that how a particular element is going to displace an element from a compound. So basically here if C is more reactive than A, then only it is going to displace A from AB. Likewise, here you can see magnesium is more reactive than hydrogen. You can see the reactivity series. Magnesium is where? It is the fifth element or fifth metal from top, and hydrogen is just below that. So magnesium is more reactive than hydrogen. So that is why magnesium replaced hydrogen from HCl. If here Mg is there and here hydrogen is there, then hydrogen cannot displace magnesium from MgCl2 here, like this. Hydrogen cannot displace magnesium from MgCl2. Why? Because magnesium is more reactive than hydrogen. Understood? Sorry, answer will be why hydrogen cannot replace magnesium from magnesium chloride? Because hydrogen is less reactive than magnesium. Correct. But why magnesium can replace hydrogen from HCl? Because magnesium is more reactive than hydrogen. So that is why it replaces hydrogen from HCl. I hope it is clear to you all. Now the next reaction is double displacement reaction. It means that when two compounds exchange cations and anions with one another, that is double displacement reaction. Means when two reacting molecules exchange corresponding ions. Example, you can see the first one, you see the common one, AB plus CD gives out CB plus AD. You see here, why this? You see AB and see this CD. Now what happened here is this BC and AD forms, means exchange of ions takes place. Now one example, you see silver nitride and NaC. You know sodium is more reactive than silver. So what happened over here is sodium replace Ag from AgNO3 and first form NaNO3. Then what happened? If Na plus will go and replace this Ag, Cl minus is free. Now this silver will attack the Cl minus and form AgCl. So here exchange of ions takes place. First NaNO3 is formed, then AgCl. Why? Because sodium is more reactive than silver. Okay. Indicators are what? Usually all these species are compounds. But in displacement reaction you see only one is compound and the other one is element. Means if element plus compound is there, it is single displacement, and if two compounds, if both the products are compounds, then that is a double displacement reaction. So now this is the catch. If you see any reaction and if in a question it is mentioned, we will practice that one too. Like that you can catch that this is a double displacement reaction. If compounds are there, if both are the compounds, then this is a double displacement reaction. And if only one compound and one element is there, that is a single displacement reaction. One activity is given in the book that to show that more reactive metal can displace less reactive, but the reverse is not possible. Okay, so the procedure you see, you have to take 5 ml of dilute copper sulfate solution in a test tube and note its color. It is blue in color. You know that copper sulfate solution is blue in color. Then place a thin plate or rod of zinc metal in the solution. Now you tell me which is more reactive, zinc or copper. You know that zinc is more reactive than copper. So zinc metal can easily displace copper from copper sulfate solution, and what happened there is the blue color disappear. Okay, you see the blue color of the solution fades away and reddish brown precipitate is formed. That means what? Zinc displaces copper from copper sulfate solution. Now what it is telling that now take zinc sulfate solution in a test tube and place a copper wire. Shake it for some time and see what happened. You cannot see any change in color or any precipitate formed. So that means what? Copper cannot displace zinc from zinc sulfate. Why? Because copper is less reactive than zinc. So in results we can say that from these experiments we find that magnesium, zinc, iron can displace copper. Why? Because all the three metals are more reactive. Okay, so that is why these metals can easily displace copper from copper sulfate solution and the blue color fades away. So this is all about the activity. Now the next reaction is precipitation reaction. Okay, so what happened here is precipitate means you know that any insoluble substances which is formed by taking two aqueous solution in a test tube and whatever the insoluble substance is formed by adding these two aqueous solution, that is precipitate. So what happened here is the reaction in which one of the product formed is an insoluble substance. See, one reaction is given when a solid forms from a chemical reaction. Two aqueous solution is there. One is lead nitrate and another one is potassium iodide. Okay, if you add these two aqueous solution, then you will get one insoluble solid substance, that is PbI2, lead iodide, and KNO3, which is the aqueous solution. So this PbI2 is insoluble, this is a precipitate. Okay, so now you know that this insoluble substances is thrown out of the solution as solid and we call it precipitate, and hence it is a precipitation reaction. Now what are the indicators? How you can identify that the particular reaction is a precipitation reaction? So the indicator is a solid on the product side. You see aqueous, solid, AQ. You know that we can put one downward arrow to specify this precipitate. The indicator is a solid on the product side but not on the reactant side. You cannot write on the reactant side. Okay. One reaction is given of silver nitrate and sodium chloride. You know silver chloride is formed and sodium nitrate aqueous will be there. And the silver chloride is white precipitate. So this is all about precipitation reaction. Now next one you see this acid base reaction you can see, or neutralization reaction also you can see. Neutralization means what? Neutral means what? Neutral means Neutral means not positive, not negative. It is neutral. Okay. When water and salt are formed from the reaction of an acid and a base. This is acid, HCl. This is base. Okay, HCl. How you can identify that this is acid? H is present. No. What are the ions over here? H plus and Cl minus. Sorry. Here H plus and Cl minus is there. So H plus ion is there. So whenever in any aqueous solution or in any liquid H plus is present, that means that substance is acid. And what about base? Here what are the ions? Na plus and OH minus. So here OH minus is present, that means it is a base. Okay. So this acid plus base, it will give one salt and water. NaCl is salt, you know, and H2O is water. So the indicators are what? Acid, H in the front. You see H in the front, that means this is acid. Base, OH in the back, OH in the back, this is base. And whenever it reacts, it forms water and what? Salt. Sodium chloride is salt. So this is all about neutralization reaction. One more reaction is given in the book, that is sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. You know that sodium carbonate is base. Here OH minus in the back is base, but sodium carbonate is also base. Okay. It reacts with hydrochloric acid, that is HCl. It forms NaCl plus H2O plus CO2. That is carbon dioxide gas. But this is gas. It will escape. And what is formed? Water and salt. So that is also a neutralization reaction. So up to here only we will discuss today. Rest, only oxidation and reduction part is left. So that we will discuss in the next class. Till then you study the topic carefully. And if any problem is there, please comment in the comment box. Thank you.